to ordering, but if we adopted this in conjunction with a specific 1033 purchasing policy I've seen other municipalities adopt, I would be more comfortable with that. I think that there's a lot of great opportunity there. I appreciate that Chief Nevis is looking into some saving. I would like to see that done in conjunction with something that makes sure that we don't have more or higher grade equipment than what we need for this department and the services that we need here.
Okay. So would you be interested in working with him on this, some sort of policy that
Yes.
works in conjunction with it?
Yes.
Okay, thanks. So we will table this for now. Unless the board wants to proceed in a different way. Agree? Okay. He was also looking into the lease for an additional printer in the police department, and we are currently paying a lot of money for the current printing that's being done. And he made the suggestion to lease an additional computer for $49.99 a month for 36 months until the other lease is up, and then we will work together with one lease. It would cost us about $250 out of his 0.4s. How does the board want to proceed for this, with this?
I'll make the motion.
Okay, a motion by Jess to lease an additional printer.
I'll second.
And a second by Deb. Is there any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. And finally, he reached out to us and he got a quote from Motorola for their body cams. And the quote will lock us in for a specific rate. And if he signs this agreement with Motorola, we are locked into this amount and there's no money needed until it expires in March of 2028. So the board's received information on that. Is there any more discussion? How would you like to proceed?
Well, I just had one question, and he's not here, but I see this is for 14. For 14 body cams. Why 14?
I don't know if 14 is the exact number they're gonna need. I know sometimes they swap them, but I don't know without talking to them.
Would you like to table that until you get an answer?
I mean, if that's what the board wishes, I mean,
I didn't hear what your question was.
She wants to know why there's 14 listed on the quote instead of 12.
How many do we have? It says we have 14 of them.
Yeah, if the quote is for 14, but we only have 12 officers. I'm just wondering what's the other two for?
Good question. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't even, are they issued by officer or they just, you grab what's there?
No, the issue.
They are.
Officer, yeah. I don't think we've ever had 14 officers, have we?
No, but I'm assuming if one goes down, if it's issued by officer, if one goes down, you want to have something. But I don't know if it needs to be 14.
Yeah, they're per officer, they're assigned per officer.
Would you like to proceed or would you like to table it?
Well, I'd like to table it just to answer the question if no one objects.
I'm good with it.
You're good?
I'm good to wait.
Mark? Scott? Okay, table. We had a resignation from the police department. Effective 10/8/2025 by Nick Joy. A motion to accept the resignation of Nick Joy
So moved.
by Marciano. Second by Belisky with regret. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. We've been discussing getting village email access for members of the fire department and for another member of the DPW. I think we had one, Jason Moore. We wanted one for Ben too. Yes. Steve, how many additional emails do we need?
8, I believe, that we have 8.
Okay. Eight for the fire department plus 1 for the DPW. Would the board like to make a motion to set up emails for these 9 employees?
I thought we were gonna have them put those on the budget time.
With everybody? Are you prepared tonight,
Yeah.
Steve? Is it all right with you, Marguerite? to have them?
Yes, yes.
Okay,
So going for new nearest requirements, that's going to be federal reporting database that we're getting switched over to January 1st. So we're starting to import some of that information now. I've sent a lot of it to county emergency manager, but there's a lot of more stuff. So part of that is email addresses that I have to attach to these guys. It's a web-based program. We're going to have to sign in, and I'd like to move it all our EMS data that we use current generic sign-ons to have it be company type email addresses. They can be turned on, turned off, and then switch, we control. Right now, we have a Google address or a Yahoo address. We can't confirm that Mark got that email and Mark read it. But with a company account, corporate account like ours, we can. So, but also for the login purposes for the nearest and for the EMS charts for solar EMS. So.
And I've expressed my thoughts on it, that companies have company emails for communication purposes. And
The ease of that, streamlining that communication wise, when you're sending out, instead of doing mass text stuff, needs to be sent via email. I think we can probably do it on our electronic money, but that's some discussions that we need to sit down and talk about annually. I need to have more conversation with.
How many do you have now?
So there's 8 accounts already set up. I think I need 9. I was just walking through it. So there's. Yeah, there's 8 that have it now, so we need 9 accounts.
How much are those a piece?
per person, right, Jada? So it's going to be $450 to get 9 people an email for a year, but we're halfway through a year. Does anyone want to make a motion? Okay, by Spiliski, is there a second?
yeah, second.
By Marciano, is there any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
And just for clarification for that motion, was that 8 or 9 for the fire department? So 9 for the fire
Oh.
department and 1 for DPW? All right.
Okay, I had that wrong. Okay, thank you. So 10. While you're speaking, Chief, we have a recommendation for a Coleman appointment.
Yes, Austin Siegel. Interviewed him, I believe, October 13th, or no. October, no, September 30th. Lieutenant Brooks and I sat down and interviewed him, did well. We recommend him for fire pretty possible.
Okay, and there is gear for him, correct?
Pardon?
There's gear for him?
Yes,
Okay,
what's the training look like? For him, he's got his depot right now, which is basic exterior, but that's interior part light. He's enrolled in the EMT class. I think they just started. So, what's that? Yeah, he's in the Shelby class right now. So, yeah, would you say this is?
He's a member.
Yeah, he's a member originally, so we're ahead of the curve. He's the person citizen block. So,
Do we do it now as well?
oh yeah, there'll be an in-house training program put on by the municipal training officer to get him up to speed, get him cleared once he's met the training. So we can start working with him on fire trainings now, because he's got a statement there. So the operations, our procedures, things like that. He's got to go through the EMT program. I'm not sure when they graduate. He lives between Christmas and Thanksgiving. I think this one does. Started, beginning of September, a little later than usual, right? They start later than usual. Yeah, it's usually like August. Yeah. So, so anyway, he's navigating his way through the program now. See how we go.
So is there a motion to appoint?
Hang on a second. Is, I think the last thing we brought up also, I asked where we're at the current Coleman that we have.
Let's forward that information on here.
Okay, I didn't get it. I didn't get that information. Where we're at. I'd like to know where we're at with the current
Sure. Yep.
Coleman, and also, what are we planning on doing with, if we add this one to the fire department? What is his duties gonna be? What's he gonna be doing? Because obviously, I don't think we've had any Coleman in quite a while, been active in that.
Correct.
What's your expectations of what's he gonna be doing
As
as Coleman, or what do we?
so, my hopes are that he's going to come in and do some duty time and come in and get the training accomplished. So he's going to get his training, his in-house training accomplished first, and then it's easier with the fire training that he's got. We go through and just verify those skills and go through a bunch of in-house policy procedures stuff, so that he'll be on board with the fire training. Right? But if he's going through the EMS program, we're not going to have him doing EMS stuff again. So once he attains the state certification and we do an onboarding process, similar to what we do for the career guys, and they have to get so many calls, transfers, no lights, no siren driving, lights and sirens driving, emergency situations, not emergency situations, stuff like that. That's that same training packet that I had sent to the mayor, and those guys go through that onboarding process as well.
Now, does it generate additional staffing for us to train, or does it just come in?
It's existing. It's existing.
So it's already.
Yep.
Nothing for us to just get in some-
Correct. Sorry, I'm going through them.
No.
Hard sort of question.
That probably, obviously it wasn't involved in the interview, so I'd like to have been included in that. What I gather, this is a father and son. Relative that works.
Yeah, they're both members of Ridgeway and
One of them is a career fireman.
yep, his aspirations are to be a career fireman.
Okay.
So that was one of the questions I asked during the interview.
That's a concern. Father and son working the same and being a career. That's
We
my,
don't have any policies against it.
yeah. I'm not a big fan of it.
We got brothers working already.
Yeah, I know. Just not a big fan of it.
Any more questions?
Nope.
Okay, how would the board like to proceed?
I think I would like to, I'm not sure. This Coleman thing kind of came up out of the blue for me. I mean, we haven't had active Coleman in quite a while, so I'm just wondering where this came from and what's our policy now for Coleman and when they're gonna be called. I don't know anything.
We have
I'm
one
totally
other Coleman.
unfamiliar with it.
We have one other Coleman that's active right now, Justin McAdoo. He comes in, fills the void on a lot of third run ambulance calls, fourth run ambulance calls. Steps up on first and second run calls when there's extra manpower needed. Work schedule kind of He's not pulling any duty time. He started pulling duty time at the beginning of his work schedule. So it's one of the battles that they have to deal with.
Was this solicited or did he approach you or I'm
No,
just?
he filled out an application
just
and he
curious.
filled one out.
I mean, is this a program that you would like to expand
Yes,
for the fire department?
yes, I'd like it to be a pipeline for the careers.
Mhm.
Yeah, we'll test applicants, you know, get them trained and pipeline.
We've always had call firemen as long as I've been on the board, and we've actually looked at the list and we've removed some who weren't active. And we have everything all set up for callmen, and I believe this board had reached out either to the former chief or Chief Cooley before inquiring about callmen. And now all of a sudden we have one who's applying, and there's.
Can I ask another question?
Yeah.
I might be oversimplifying this. I remember when Justin first came on as a call firefighter, and I know he also is in Ridgeway. So the majority of my understanding about volunteers within our department comes mostly from Justin. But if I understand correctly, there are times where if he comes in additional, like, would that help relieve overtime calls at some point, or is that separate? Because
The third and fourth one call, yeah.
Okay.
obviously, If he's coming in on those, yeah.
so there are times where having a volunteer come in could cut back on overtime?
Yeah.
And then can you remind me, there is an annual stipend that call firefighters are available to take if they meet certain criteria. Can you
Yeah.
remind me what that amount is and what the rough criteria are?
It's changed a couple times since my tenure here. I think it was cut in 2 checks. Or then it went to annually. I'm not sure I would have to sit down with Jada and go through the records and see when the last one was cut. And how it was. I think it had changed to annually.
Do you remember what the amount was roughly?
I think it's a total of $1,000.
Okay,
If they meet the training requirements and, because there's training hours that go along with that, and it averages out to be like 12 to 20 hours a month of activity.
12 to 20 hours a month of activity to qualify for the $1,000 at the end of the year?
Long time.
Okay, and then is it a prorated amount? Like if you only get X number, or you have to hit that amount to get $1,000 check?
It was an overall number, and then it was just a division on it.
Okay, so you have to, so could I get $750 if I only did X amount, or is it you get $1,000 or you don't?
No, I think you have
To volunteers a month roughly, or front load it all or whatever, in order to qualify for any amount of money. And we budgeted, if I recall correct, 2,000 for call firefighters. Okay,
and I don't think we spent anything on it.
sure.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to the call fireman program. In fact, I'm probably in favor of it, particularly if it's gonna mean, he or she's gonna be used to, cut down on our overtime and fill in. I mean, that's exactly what we're looking for. I think the questions arise because we have not had an active